Hi, in this video I'll be showing you this. It's the Decen 45 litre mobile refrigerator. Now there's actually two versions of this, there's a 45 litre or a 60 litre, but for the purpose of this video I'm going to be showing you the 45 litre. But apart from the capacity, then pretty much everything else I show you will be the same between the 45 and the 60 litre. Apart from the dimensions, clearly on the 60 litre it will be a bigger version. But all I'd normally say, just before I start, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just give us a quick thumbs up. So at the moment the weather in the UK, believe it or not, is about 31 degrees today. So I thought that this is a really good opportunity to bring the mobile refrigerator outside and let's have a quick look around it. So the first thing I've done is I've actually taken it out of the box, and the only thing you need to do on either side, you've got a couple of handles. So all you need to do is just screw these on. So you've just got 4 screws either side. That's the handle the other side, so they're nice strong metal handles, and it just enables you to carry this. Now some people call these cool boxes. To be fair, this is way more than a cool box. That's why I'm calling it the mobile refrigerator. So as far as the dimensions on this model, then you're looking around 66 centimeters wide or around 26 inches. As far as the depth, you're looking around 40 centimeters deep or around 16 inches, and the height of it, you're looking around 44 centimeters or just over 17 inches. So as far as the dimensions on the 60 litre model, the main difference is the height of it. The actual depth and the width are exactly the same, so it's just the height that differs a little bit, and you're looking at around 53 centimeters or around 21, just over 21 inches. Now something to bear in mind can be the weight of it. So on this model you're looking around 18 kilograms, and on the 60 litre model you're looking around 20 kilograms. So if you are going to carry it for a while, so if you were going down to the beach with it, because that's the whole idea of these kind of mobile refrigerators or cool boxes, then you know they are designed to be portable. But if you are going to carry them, then take the weight into account, because I must admit they're not the lightest, but again it's something to bear in mind. So as you can see on the top here, you have got 4 positions for cups. If you wanted to just pop your drink on there, you've got a really nice handle on the front here. I know on a lot of, because to be fair we've been camping quite a lot and we have used a cool box before, nothing as smart as this, but things like that have just got a basic handle on it. But you've got a really nice spring-loaded handle on the front here. Now when the lid is open, you can see inside here it is a really good size, and you've got a really nice wire basket in here. That's something that to be fair is really good. There's nothing worse than having food in here or drinks or something and then not being able to get them out, just to try and reach the bottom. But again, you have got a couple of handles on here, so that can make it quite easy to go and load everything up. So what you can do is if you were transporting food from one place to another, if you wanted to go and take this to your freezer, then you can pop everything in here and just pop it into the mobile refrigerator and then shut the lid and go. So now capacity wise it is split into 2 sections, so you've got 38 litres on the larger side and then 7 litres on the smaller side. Just to put it into context, because it doesn't really give you a full idea as to, I suppose, what you can store in there. I know 45 litres, you know, it sounds quite a lot, or even bigger, the 60 litre one, but just to give you an idea, so on the 45 litre model you can get approximately 67 cans. So these will be the little things like the Coke cans. You can get 67 of those in, or I suppose for most adults then it could gauge it by things like bottles of wine, and on this model you can actually get 18 bottles of wine in there, so that puts it into a bit more of context. So with this mobile refrigerator there's actually a couple of ways of powering it, I suppose really depending on where it's located. Now the first one is you can just plug it into a normal plug socket. So it's really I suppose the 230 or 240 volt, and you do get an adapter, and then this will actually plug in just on the front here. You've got it's the same adapter, so it doesn't matter whether you're going to plug it into a normal main socket, or the other option is you've got a 12 or 24 volt adapter. So this is ideal if you've got, say, a caravan, or if you're going into a motorhome, or even in your car. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you both versions in action. So the first way of doing it, of connecting it up, is going to be plugging it in. So I know I'm outside at the moment, but I have got an outdoor socket, so I'm going to go and plug that in. So now I've plugged it in, just to let you know the length on this is just under 1.8 meters or around 69 inches. The reason I mentioned that is if you were having this in a house, if you did need a longer lead, then you don't have to worry about getting or changing this. This is just using a standard, it's like a figure of 8 lead as we tend to call it in the industry. But what you can do is if you wanted to just get a longer one of those leads, I mean those you can get quite long, then you've still got the ability to increase the length of the lead. But you know, for this purpose, and I suppose for the majority of people, really that kind of length of lead will be fine. So the beauty of this mobile refrigerator is that the temperature range is really big. So you can have it from plus 10 degrees down to minus 20. So I suppose in essence they don't even need to call it a refrigerator because it is a mobile freezer as well. And to switch it on, all you do is you just press and hold that, normally for about 2 or 3 seconds. And what that's doing, that's showing the ambient temperature. Well, it's showing the temperature inside here at the moment. I have just tried it, so I did just switch it on for a moment, and that's why it's showing slightly cooler, because as I mentioned, outside at the moment it is an unbelievable 30 to 31 degrees, which is amazing for the UK. And if you can't hear it, then I'm not surprised, because the compressor is well insulated and it's only around 41 decibels. So if you had it on, for example, if you're in a, I suppose quite a good example is if you're in a tent, if it's lovely and quiet, then even if this is plugged in all the time, then you won't be woken up by it because it is very quiet. Now as far as the temperature control on here, as I mentioned, it's 24 degrees at the moment. What you can do is you can press the plus and the minus, so it is actually set to minus 20 at the moment, and that's just flashing. And what it will do is it will gradually work its way down the temperature range. But what I can do is you can change the temperature by just pressing the plus button. So if I just wanted it set on 0, then I can do that and then just leave it. But if I wanted to go up to say plus 10, then as I mentioned earlier, that's the maximum temperature that it can go up to. What you'll find is it can take some time to get down to temperature, but because these walls are very well insulated, then it will maintain the temperature even if you were to turn it off for a bit. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that now, so I'm going to take it back down to minus 20 and just really see how long it takes to get down to that temperature. Now you've got a couple of other options on here. The first one is you can change it to Fahrenheit if you want to. So this is measured in degrees Celsius at the moment, but if you wanted to, then just by pressing that button and holding it for 3 seconds, then you can change the reading to a Fahrenheit, which some people want to do. You've also got the option here, if you just press that button, then you've got the Eco option. So you've either got Max or Eco. I suppose what this really means is, I mean, what I'm asking it to do at the moment is to get down to temperature as quickly as possible. So I would select the Max option. If I wasn't really in a hurry, and I suppose if I was leaving it on all the time, then I would just select the Eco option, because that tends to run a little bit more efficiently. So what I've done is I actually zoomed in just at the bottom here. First of all, you can see that there is a 15 amp fuse. So if for some reason it did blow the fuse, then it's just a 15 amp blade fuse that you need to replace it. Now you have got a feature on here, which to be fair I haven't seen on many mobile refrigerators, but I suppose because this is towards the better end of the market, the higher end of the market, then you've got this option on here, and this is something called a low voltage cutoff. So if the battery that you've got it connected to, I suppose this is mainly if you're going to connect it to a 12 or 24 volt supply. So if the supply that you're going to connect it to gets down to a certain voltage, then what you can do is you can actually get it to turn off so it doesn't drain your battery too much. Now you've got different options on here. I won't go through all of them, but you've got 3 switches, so you've got number 1, 2 or 3, and that really depends on I suppose the supply you've got and how low the voltage you want it to go down to before it will cut off. What you've also got is you've got something called battery start protection. What this basically means is that the fridge will come with a 5-second startup delay for the fan and a 20-second startup delay for the compressor. So what it does, it just delays things coming on. I suppose what you don't want is you don't want to overload the vehicle when you first start it. So a couple of other things to mention inside. First of all, what you can do is this is actually a reversible lid. So if for example you wanted the lid to go the other way, so you wanted the handle on this side, then all you need to do is just unclip it here, just turn it round, and then clip it on this side. So I suppose that's good if you're going to have it in, say, a certain area. For example, if it was going to be in a tent, then if you wanted to have it a certain way around because of the controls and I suppose where the plug is going to be located, then you could switch the lid round. And again, that's just a really good option. Something else to point out. Wow, just as I open this, I mean this has literally been on for what, 7 or 8 minutes now, and I can already feel the cold air coming out, and I can just feel how cold it is. The walls inside are freezing cold. But I'm still going to let that get down to temperature to give it a good test. Just inside here you have got a little guide, and I suppose what it's recommending is if you've got things like water, then that one to be about 5 degrees C. Red wine, that's about 13 degrees. So I suppose for things like red wine you wouldn't necessarily put that in here. But there's just a little chart in here just recommending some temperatures. If you did want to freeze some things, then you've got things like meat that goes down to minus 18 degrees, and also the quick frozen food, again down to minus 18, which this is more than capable of. Really, I suppose the last thing to mention in here is that you've got a cheeky little LED light. That could be good for, I suppose, again, if you're out camping and it's dark, you just want to go and get a quick beer, so at least you've got a little LED light on the side here to help you find one. So what I want to do now is just bring this into my car. So this is in my car boot at the moment. I just want to apologise for the noise around, because unfortunately where I live it's not quite near a main road. There's not a huge amount I can do about that. Just wait for a quieter moment, that's better. So with this lead, so this is the 12-24 volt lead, but what I want to do is I want to connect this into a cigarette lighter connection, and the whole idea is that it will just power this back up. So fortunately I have got a connection in the boot in my car, but as far as the length of this lead, if you didn't have a connection in the boot area, or trunk if you're in America, this lead itself, you're looking around 2.4 meters or 94 inches, so it's more than enough to reach to the front if you needed to. So what I've done is I've actually connected it into the side of the mobile refrigerator. I'm just going to connect it into the side there, and we just turn it back on, and then once it's all plugged in, then again all you do is you just press and hold the on button for about 2 or 3 seconds. And as I mentioned, it normally takes around 20 seconds for the compressor to start up, but hopefully you can see on here, this is the display. I know the sun's quite bright at the moment, but that's already down to 15 degrees, so it's getting a lot cooler. And we're down to 14 already. Just pop my hand in here, then, oh yeah, it's getting lovely and cool. What I want to do, the challenge is to get it down to minus 20 before we finish the video. So what I'm going to do, because it's pretty noisy out here at the front, I think I'm going to go around the back, and I'm going to plug it back into the mains again. So I've just come around the back where it's a bit quieter now. Not sure if you can see on the display, but we're down to 7 degrees now, so it's working its way down pretty quickly. As a family, especially the kids, they get through an awful lot of squash. They drink a lot of water as well. I just wanted to show you, so these are some of the I suppose the fair size amount of water. The size on this, so these are 2 litres. They're not quite the really big ones, but I've got 6 bottles here, so I just wanted to show you. I know I mentioned earlier about the number of wine bottles, but I've just got 6 bottles here, and that just gives you an idea as to I suppose like the capacity that you can get in here. As I say, we do get through quite a few of this type of bottle, but what you could do is you can actually get 9 of those in here, and as well as the 9, then you would still have space for some other smaller cans or bottles on the left hand side. So I just did that, I suppose, just really while it's getting down to temperature. I suppose, to be fair, I shouldn't really leave the lid open, but I think what I'll do now is I'll give it a good chance to get down to the temperature, just to prove that it does go down to the minus 20. So I just wanted to prove to you that the unit can go down to minus 20. I know it says it can in the instructions, and I know when you select it, when you select this on the temperature, that you want it to go to minus 20. So to be fair, it did take around 2.5 hours to get down to that temperature. But something really to bear in mind is the ambient temperature. So the outside temperature at the moment, you are looking around about 30 degrees. I mean, it's a little bit later on now, so I think at the moment I just had a quick check and we're still down to about 27 degrees, so it's still very hot. So clearly, if it was at I suppose a normal UK temperature, say around 10 to 15 degrees, then I think it would have got down to the temperature of -20 a little bit quicker. So I must admit, when I first unboxed the mobile refrigerator, I wasn't too sure what to expect, but I must admit, I'm really impressed with it. Things like the carrying handles on the side, you know, they're metal and very substantial. The ability to put so much inside, considering the external dimensions, are not too bad. Clearly it depends whether you're going for the 45 or the 60 litre. As I mentioned earlier, the 60 litre is slightly higher, it's around 10 centimetres higher. The display on it, I think, is really good. Having the ability to go from +10 down to -20, and we've just proved that it can go down to the -20. I just really looked at it as a challenge. You know, to get something like this to go down to 0, I suppose, to be fair, is pretty easy, but to go down all the way to -20 is a real challenge. But other little features inside, things like the carrying basket, and also don't forget the cheeky little LED light inside as well. But as I say, overall, I'm really impressed. If you are thinking of buying one of these models, either the 45 or the 60 litre, then I have provided a couple of links below to show you where to get them at competitive prices. I hope you've enjoyed this quick video on the Decen 45 or 60 litre mobile refrigerator. Please give us a thumbs up on the YouTube channel, click subscribe and leave any comments below. Hopefully I've covered everything as regards things like the dimensions, the capacities, everything, how it operates. If you have got any queries on it, then I might have forgotten something. There might be something pretty obvious to yourself that you've come here to watch the video that I've forgotten. So if there is something I've missed, then just pop it in the comments and I'll get back to you. Also, if you have got one of these, either the 45 or 60 litre model, then let me know what you think about it, because I'd always appreciate the feedback. Anyway, thanks for watching.